to our very first live stream podcast for My Little Homestead. Yeah. We apologize. We are 2 minutes late. We had had this all set up for private because we were testing it out earlier, and we're like, why is
nobody here?
What is going on?
Yeah.
And
nobody cares.
now we know. Anyway, we're sorry about that. These are going to be every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. I just want to double check to make sure we are indeed live.
Okay.
Just
How do
before
we know?
That's fine.
we go crazy here. I have it on public, but I just want to double check to make sure we're good here.
While she's doing that.
Well, yeah.
Well,
introduce.
Yeah, I'll just go ahead. Just go and do that. I'll introduce everybody.
All right,
this is
sure.
Bree.
Go for it.
And then I'm Gary. And this
It says here 4
This is Shelley. Yeah, there we go. We got some folks
Oh,
coming
he
out.
says you're live.
All right, and we're
Thank
good.
you.
Thank you.
Anyway, we have myself, Gary. This is Shelley. And then Bree, Bryson, Shay, and Garen is off working in a ski resort.
If you don't know who I am, that's sad.
Yeah.
Why are you even watching our channel?
There'll be a poll at the end of our deal. No, who was the best? But anyway, so
yeah, these will be. Did you mention too? These are going to be every Wednesday at 6 p.m.
Yeah,
Wednesday.
Yeah. I don't know who spelled that. We all say Wednesday, and they go Wednesday.
6 p.m. Pacific. Yeah.
Okay. Wednesday at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Pacific.
6 p.m. Pacific time.
Yeah, Pacific time.
So, and we're gonna be talking about family stuff and all things, homesteading and My Little Homestead, really, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
And taking in
family projects.
Having some people for interviews.
Yeah, a few
stuff.
interviews.
Like
Yeah, we got that planned
experts
into.
on and help us.
Or not so
along.
expert, and that'll be fun too.
Oh
So,
yeah. Well, just like the rest of us.
No,
right?
we're gonna have experts on. So. Yeah. We never let the lack of talent ever stop us from anything.
That's
so
never stopped us
why
before.
would we?
If we
why
can't do
start
something,
now?
we figure out how to do it.
That's true. That's true.
We just search it on YouTube whenever we want to know.
We want to know something. That's where we go to. So well, that's probably what you guys do too. You're probably doing the same thing. So anyway.
So what does a day, like a morning in the life of My Little Homestead look
Waking up is usually the first thing. And then we
it's
attend
always a good
a
one.
nice 8 o'clock meeting. Well, most of us can get to the 8 o'clock meeting on time. And thank you. And then the dogs are always early because they like to eat.
Sleep is very important.
It is. It just helps us all be beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
And
But
I think there might be somebody here. Do we
Serious?
have a visitor? Max, do we have a visitor?
I will be back.
he's the dog alarm.
sorry, guys.
He's
Make
the dog
sure.
alarm.
Yeah.
He ensures that
He gets
no one
lonely.
comes in.
He gets
Somebody
lonely
wanted to
if
come
you're
to the
behind.
podcast live.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I heard
It's
you
an
guys
audience.
were
Studio audience.
streaming in here. No.
Cool. Where was I? Oh, something about the first day in
Hey, I
life.
get a chance to be on the stream. Let's go.
That would be.
Jump the fence.
All right. So anyway, the day in the life, kind of. I'm not gonna do a whole day, obviously, but in the mornings, 8 o'clock, we meet, and then we discuss the projects that are at hand, and that's kind of what this podcast is about. Is how do we do some of our project planning and that kind of an idea? What's the kind of the day start out with? How do projects kind of start out? And we're not going to get real technical because we don't want to put you to sleep, but or I don't want to put the kids to sleep. So, hey, Dad, what time is it? Well, let's see. You start building a watch by using the quartz mechanisms. And so anyway, we need to get started in the mornings, 8 o'clock. Everybody's there. Then we kind of go around the horn here and see who's got what projects to do, what things they need to have done.
It kind of helps.
Excuse me.
A while ago, before we were doing the meetings in the morning, it was kind of difficult to find everyone because we're all so busy. You wouldn't really know where to find a sibling or a parent. And with the 8 o'clock meetings, we just say, hey, we're going to be in my room all day. I'm doing art. And then at least everyone knows where you're at for the day.
Yeah, kind of get it. And then I try to help whenever I can, but I kind of run a little business myself. So when I'm able to help too, I'll come out. Or if they need help with projects like we're cobbing this week, so trying to
We wanna-
get out there
when
and
we,
other extra hands and stuff like that.
When we
too,
want to
so.
fake Bree working in the...
Hey, Bree, we need you this week in the footage. So
Film
you
you,
need to
quick,
get out
do
there.
something. Okay, you're good.
Yeah, come on.
You're good now.
I walked out and said hello.
I don't know if I've ever done that, but we should start doing that. That would be much easier.
No, we could use your help.
That would work for your schedule.
That would work for me. I think I could do that.
Well, once we've kind of established everybody's schedule for the day, then we can kind of start beginning. A lot of times our beginnings are running through some statistics, what's going on with where the projects are at. So we may be, for instance, on the Muse Art Studio, which has been our most recent project. We have, whatever's next. When you're building a house, it's basically you have the foundation. The foundation's kind of the shoes, right? So you put your shoes on, and that, you got a plan to put your shoes on. You got to get the right foot in the right hole, right? And you got to tie them or buckle them or Velcro or whatever you use to secure them. So you have a good foundation. It's nice and firm, something you can stand on. Unless you're Shay, and then you can walk around barefoot all day. But anyway.
That's right.
Shoes, foundation. Shoes
I
and
built my foundation through months of walking.
Yes.
Lots of calluses on the bottom of my face.
This thick. That sucker's, man, she could walk on glass. Wouldn't hurt her all.
Sandpaper.
Anyway,
Give me your foot.
I did when I was younger.
That's not funny. Okay, so
Surprise, now you know.
Yeah, well, that's good. So when you're building a foundation, you have good shoes. And then the next thing, you want to get the walls up. And once the walls are up and kind of things are in place that way, you put on some type of coating on the outside. It could be, for us, it's cob, or it could be some kind of stucco. A lot of contractors will use all kinds of things from siding and so on and so forth. But the idea is that's the coat. So you have your shoes, you have your coat, and then you have to have a roof, and that's the hat. So a lot of times you don't put your coating on until your hat's on. So you want to protect it, right? So, but you do have the three phases of a building project: the shoes, the coat, and the hat. And so that all takes planning. And yours truly, I get the job sometimes of planning. And the kids always wonder.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
He means like every time.
Well,
So
anyway.
Dad,
He is
we
the
got
plan.
He has a
the
gift
walls
for it.
built, but what are we gonna do for a roof exactly?
No, I thought about putting the roof on first. We're going to lift the roof up and then throw everything else underneath it.
Oh, that
be
would
proactive.
be
Yeah.
fun.
Hey,
we had somebody
then we get to
asking
rent a crane.
too. I think it's Josh here.
Josh.
He's asking about how school fits in, and that when we had that meeting at 8:00 in the morning.
What's
Really,
school?
the only two that are still in school is Bryson and Shay. That's why Bree's running her own art stuff, so she comes in and helps us when she can. But what we do with the school is we decided early on that we would just have this 1 hour a day that would be kind of almost like we were thinking kind of like a PE class, because we homeschool the kids. So it's kind of like, well, what do we do for PE? And then we decided that we'd start doing stuff around the property. Mm-hmm. And it just kind of has led into the building projects and stuff. So we still do, it's still about an hour a day is what we do. We don't, sometimes we push it, or if we're getting close to the end, we might do a little bit more. But then the rest of the school fits into all the other cracks, and that's where we find out exactly, do the kids do pretty much their own planning on what they're going to do in the school day.
Yeah, we do a lot of self-teaching too. We learn all kinds of stuff on YouTube, and
It's kind of focused on what we want
not
to...
just YouTube too. We go to other sources.
It's kind of focused on on what kind of job we want to get or make when we're older. So kind of the learning that we do is more focused on that than so much as test or
trying to get into a college. Like, I don't think any of us really want to go there. We want to do our own businesses, and we don't really need any kind of degree for any of the kind of stuff that we want to do,
Yeah, but if you did,
we would go through that.
we
And
would.
that's
Yeah,
what we
definitely.
wanted.
I think we started out with this idea of being an entrepreneur, so that you run your own business, you make your own investments, you do the things that are necessary. I know that's one of the things we taught the kids early on, is the balance sheets and that kind of stuff. You get money in, you get money out, you have expenses, and you have liabilities, and so on and so forth. And those kinds of things were really important. And it's kind of given that drive to, hey, I'd like to be an artist. So what's Bree's done is she's started her own art studio and does her art and gets paid for it. Darren right now is into mechanics and building things, but sure loves his YouTube channel, so he's doing really well with that. Bryson as well, same thing. He loves the idea of electronics and so on, 3D printing, so he has a channel for that. Shay is into cosplay and into theatrics and into music, and her channel kind of goes towards those lines.
so basically all the cool stuff.
Yeah, all the cool stuff. The stuff we wish we were all doing, right? Of course, we do go to con and dress up too, so that's kind of fun.
But we
That's
all
kind of
do
our
real
homeschooling thing.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Kind of a interest-driven
Yeah.
schooling.
Yeah.
Something like that. I don't know. That's a new term. But
Yeah.
something
Interest-driven.
like that. Anyway,
That's cool.
okay. So, what projects are we kind of doing right now? What are our current?
There's kind of two on tap. One we spend most of our time on. We haven't gotten back to the second one for a while, but the Muse Art Studio, of course, is the biggest thing. And if you've been watching the videos, those are the ones that are primarily out there. We've got all the way up through now. The roof is on, and we're now beginning to put the coat on, you might say, and doing the cobbing on the outside. Chinking is what we call it, and filling in the gaps. And then, of course, Bryce and I are going to use a spray on again. I thought that was a great technique.
That mud sprayer that works a lot better. That works
the hopper
a lot.
deal.
Yeah, the hopper deal. A lot nice.
So
really
we'll
nice.
just blow it all on this time, and that works pretty well. And then once that's done, we got the doors and windows installed, except for we cracked a window or window came
sneak peek.
cracked.
We just got the doors and windows installed.
Oh yeah, watch Friday. You'll be able to see how that goes.
Dropping the hints,
Yeah.
dropping the hints for Friday
Friday's
night.
video.
Dropping those hints.
So we've got worked on that today. We got the big double doors in, and it was kind of fun. We'll trim it out tomorrow and continue working on cob.
We also have
So much cob coming out of our ears.
so many personal projects going on. I mean, that's just kind of the My Little Homestead
the hour a
family
day.
project.
Oh, yeah,
the hour a day
yeah.
work we do.
And then we all
We're
have our
always
own
so
separate
busy that
projects.
you'd have to attend the 8:00 meeting every morning.
Yeah, if you guys
to
want to be
find out
there,
about
8
the
o'clock.
current projects.
That'd be so
I'll
much
save
fun.
a seat for you.
Yeah, wow,
You can sit next to Shay.
all of you.
All of you.
Anyway, so it's
Giant
a great. The whole planning thing works out because that's part of the project's Music Art Studio. Then we have we've been doing some fencing, block fencing with some pig.
Oh, yeah, we got a ton
Big
of
panel.
block. We've been doing stuff there.
Yeah, pig panel
Time to
uppers
time,
and
so.
and block blowers with railroad ties in between. That's
So,
cool.
Dad, when we start out a project, what does it take to finance these things? What are the
Well, usually we use money. That's been the best way. 2 chickens, a pig, and an egg don't go very far anymore. So
sad face?
Yeah, it
we
is
have
a
plenty
sad
of those.
face.
Because we have a lot
Yeah.
of chickens.
yeah, we
And
could-
eggs.
It'd be
Two
cool.
goats.
And a
A
pig.
chicken
We
and a
have a
pig.
huge pig.
It could be great. There are some folks out there that like the Andorra roof was something we promoted for them, and they helped us to get it. So that was cool.
That was
we were going to use
awesome.
it anyway,
really
so it was
felt
perfect.
pretty. Yeah, I was gonna
It
put
was
it on
They
anyway.
yeah, and
so.
they didn't really ask us to promo it. They just
No,
wanted
they
to
just
They
said,
didn't
"Hey,
They
actually.
were so nice.
They were so
Yeah.
nice.
Sent that out. It was wonderful.
So,
Wow.
but that doesn't happen all the time.
Yeah, there's a few.
So we have to finance that. But these things don't cost a lot of money, so that's the cool thing about
Yeah,
it.
that's kinda
But
the
you do need to
appeal.
plan for it if you're building. There has to be some type of financing. So my suggestion is that you just create a checklist of things you need, approximate costs of how much it's going to be.
That's what we do.
Start planning.
Yeah.
Hey, I need to save these many dollars to be able to pay for those things. Or, like us, we resource. So we go, let's see, we don't have to pay for dirt. We had two big truckloads of clay delivered a long time ago.
Yeah, we did.
No.
We did.
Yeah,
we had a
so-
ton of clay. We're still
yeah.
using that stuff.
And then
You've been charging me for dirt since we started these projects.
so
It was
those are-
10 cents a scoop.
It's free.
How much money I've spent on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Well, don't tell Bryson how much I charged him. Okay. So anyway, so we do resource. So if there's something around the property that we've accumulated over the years, we'll repurpose that.
Yeah, and we do Craigslist shopping like
Oh,
crazy.
yeah,
We are constantly on
Yeah,
that
we're
thing.
big on that.
Let's see, what do we need?
Craigslist.
We
And-
just surf it to go, oh, that would make a good project.
So,
And we do that.
but yeah, that's kind of some of the planning we do. It's financing. You have to plan for that. So.
Or like one time when we were working on my door up above the steps, we just found those windows and we just put them together because we have like a hoop barn that we store like things we find.
Stash.
We just store in there,
Yeah.
and then we go back there and say, "Hey, look, this would be kind of cool to put in a room," and so kind of just go from there.
Yeah.
Garage sales too.
Garage sales, oh
Garage
yeah.
sales. I was gonna say
Yeah.
too. Guy was asking what didn't work or go well. What would we do different? What's something?
For which?
Oh, we could do an easy one on the Muse Art Studio, Gary.
Yeah, well, there's one video. If you haven't seen it, it's out there. We had a tremendous amount of rain come when the walls were about 6 or 8 feet tall,
Yeah.
and they just totally soaked those walls. And I couldn't.
On what building?
This is
Music Art Studio.
Would
Don't you
that-
remember?
Yeah, yeah.
Was
We
it-
had to
so-
happen a couple of times.
Yeah.
We have so much stuff going around, we just forget these things.
Yeah, on Bryson's room we had the
Did we
same
ever
thing. Only the
post
walls
that
were 4
video?
feet wide.
That's
Yeah.
right. We
4
had
feet
the-
tall, but they were small.
I remember that one.
But in weather is a thing, and you have to contend with that. And we were covering the walls and everything else, but just for some reason we just got over soaked, and we have a little bit of bending and flipping
It's,
and turning.
Well, you remember
I
too-
think-
Oh, go ahead.
I think it has to do a bit with the sides of the building too. I think the bigger the circle is, the more of a chance you have of those walls caving in. So if you're doing something very small, I don't think that would happen, even if you had.
We have to
tremendous
note
amount of
though,
rain.
we fixed the problem.
Yeah.
Okay, the problem was fixed. We got things righted correctly
Yeah, we're
within
able to
great
fix
We put
tolerances.
2
I'm
posts
very
in
happy.
the ground, and we just bolted that
Yeah.
wall.
If you
Nice.
remember right too, when we started that project, you were saying, I want to put buttresses all around.
Yeah, I did talk
and
about
Garrett
buttresses.
and I are like, oh no, these so
Yeah,
cool.
it's
Oh,
The
okay.
buttresses are the
Don't
ones that
do
go up
it.
to the
But guess who
wall
said,
and
yeah,
come
we
down.
should have buttresses, and
Yeah,
we didn't have
okay.
buttresses. But anyway,
Lesson
Better
learned.
not.
yeah, when you get a 30-foot circle, I do, and the 1-foot bags, we do the 14-inch bags that kind of come out, measure out to 12 inches when they're full. Yeah, you'd probably want something, either more bags, double rows, or wider bags for the bigger circles.
And I
But you
think-
learn by experience, right?
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think the thing is that if anything ever goes wrong, we'll just
Fix
figure
it.
out. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not that we can't
Yeah.
put.
It's
those
the
things in
opportunity
there.
for
Yeah.
growth and
Yeah,
advancement
and it's
right
kind
there.
of fun. I mean, the
Yeah.
problems sometimes are like, oh my gosh, how are we gonna fix that? But then it's kind of fun. The challenge is kind of fun. Like, okay,
Yeah.
what creative thing can we do to fix this?
Yeah.
You
It's
know,
like
Yeah,
it's never too far gone.
And
You can
it's
always-
interesting too, the
seems
ideas
like-
that we try, and then sometimes they work, and sometimes they don't, and sometimes they really work, and they look absolutely awesome.
accidents, happy
And we're just
accidents.
like,
that
oh,
happens to us a
wow.
lot.
Yeah. we were ready to paint Bryson's building, for instance, on the exterior, and we had the paint, and we're all set up, and got the airless sprayer out, and got it out, and flipping the switch to try to get it to work wouldn't work. So Bryson goes and grabs a what do we have?
So it's
light switch.
Yeah, we've put
Those
a light
things
switch
are
on
really
everything.
easy. One,
We've had
120.
light switches on our trucks. We've had light switches on like
ATVs.
lawnmowers, and
Yeah.
we put light switches on
So we
everything.
put the light switch.
They're
light switch.
reliable.
It
They
works.
work.
Yeah.
And,
Switch
who
was
cares what it
broken,
looks
so we
like? It
replaced
works.
So sometimes it's just another opportunity to be crazy and do something a little different.
And occasionally, you make almost your entire costume with hot glue.
Mm-hmm.
And 3 minutes in, you're holding all the pieces going, why did I do this to myself?
Yeah. Note to self: hot glue does not work on cloth.
Well, Shelley, what do you have back there for some more comments or questions that you'd like to
Anything fun?
share? Anything good going back there?
I'm secretly reading them all.
I know.
There's just a
Oh,
really,
wow. You
there's
can
a lot
actually
of
see
really
'em.
nice comments.
Oh, thanks,
Um,
guys.
Let's see if I can
Thank
find
you.
some. Ask, how did you get a video? Oh, without the dog? How did you get a video without the dog? He's
We did.
laughing.
We have
Yeah.
a video without a dog.
What?
Well,
Yeah.
no, the last video I had a little bit. Well, we had closed him down when we started
Oh.
putting.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
right.
Yeah, we didn't let them in.
Yeah.
Because we had that.
Giant hole in ground, tumbly rumbly
Well,
puppies.
and we had, and just the
We were
fact that
worried
we
about
had
that,
that
yeah.
cloth underneath there, and we just figured it'd be hard for the dog to figure out that wasn't the ground. So we
It wasn't
did
stable.
actually shut him down for just that last.
Fence.
little
We
part.
fenced that area.
But
in.
they're So so
They're coming
Diesel's
back.
in. He is next to us all the time.
All the time. Or
So
looking in at us,
That's why I
and
didn't
they're like,
see him so much
"What's
last
up?"
time.
Anybody else out there got a question or comment you want to share? Some?
Let's see. I'm gonna
in the
roll
meantime,
down
what
here.
what are kind of our
Oh,
future?
okay, here we go.
Oh, we got one.
What are the principles? This is from Christine. What are the principles? I'm sorry, I lost my place. What are the principles you abide by when making project decisions? Do you consider yourselves followers of permaculture?
We do.
There was like,
So,
this
so
is a long
all
word.
I
Shay,
know
this?
is
Shay would
mom
like to
is
tell us all about permaculture. No.
Perm? Perms are what
It-
you
for
get
your hair?
in your
It's what
hair.
culture
Yeah.
you're in the
And
perm
culture
style.
is something
You know,
that
in
you
the
have if you have a
70s,
perm.
it was
If you
more
be-
ping
well,
pong.
You could be
Yeah.
a part of a perm
a
culture.
permanent culture.
As opposed to an
And
impermanent.
there's probably rules
Yeah.
like don't burn your hair off in the perm
Yeah.
culture. So
Well, we're not making fun of you.
Oh,
but-
no.
I
but
don't
we
know what
do
that
wanna
is.
Say, yeah, I would say yes and no. We're not. We're kind of opportunists in a way. We resource what's available to us. We research what we don't know, but we don't have a creed or a code or we kind of stay what's available to us and what's going on.
Resourceful.
Very resourceful.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
say it's
So,
more what we are.
We're definitely,
Yeah.
eco-friendly is another term you kind of get mixed in there with the permaculture crowd. And yes, we do care greatly about our earth and about what's going on around us, but we're also too into technology. So if there's some tech out there that'll help us, including chemicals, I know it sounds horrible, but something that might help us to put together some nice places, we'll go for that. I don't believe that all things create cancer, but some things do. So we try to avoid cancer causing.
That's always a good thing to do. You know?
Well, as far as permaculture, though, we do have
Hugelculture.
Yeah, we've got a lot of
Hugelculture.
Hugelcultures.
Yeah.
I love those things.
Oh, and we do the basins around the trees.
Yeah, and we have done that in trying to slow down water and get the water in our land.
Yeah, that's been so great.
And as
for
far
a
as
while
plants, it's been one of our most successful things too, is using those kinds of techniques.
Cob floors, we're definitely connected to the ground when we walk
I
barefoot.
love walking on those things so much.
The cob floors.
I love the feel of them under my feet. I can walk barefoot on those all day.
You'd
They're
think
not
it would be
perfectly
like
flat. They're just.
you'd think they'd be
nice
really,
feeling.
really hard, but they're not really that hard. They're actually a softer.
And yet
kinda
there's
feel
still
to
a
them.
firm floor.
They're still
like
firm.
Yeah,
you
you
can
can still
swing
put your
them up,
furniture
you
on
know?
it. And,
But they're
Oh my goodness. I
softer.
spaced out and I thought we were still talking about Hugelkultur and you guys were culture and you guys were talking about stepping out. I'm like, I thought you weren't supposed to step in the Hugelkultur. What's going on? Sorry about that.
There's Baba in here has asked a couple times here. Have you tried rammed earth?
no, not something we've tried. We've been so happy and so many projects involving earth
Could you
bag.
explain what the
walls.
ram?
Can you
sounds
explain?
familiar. It sounds familiar, but I need a refresher.
Well, let's
Yeah.
take
Thinking
something like the earth ships.
Earth ships?
Earth ships.
Like a
ship.
Like a ship.
It's like-
Like a relationship.
ship
on
I
the
ship
ship.
the ram with
We
the
need
earth.
some more homeschooling.
Like a
but
ship,
anyway,
like a
we
black
need some
pearl?
more. Earth ships, there's
done,
some
Bree.
there, even where you guys,
Can you
we
sail
were up
on the Earth ship?
and up visiting Garen, they have Earth ships down in that area.
I don't know what an
too
earth
there.
ship is,
So,
Dad.
I'm going to tell you.
Oh, okay. Here we
Okay,
go.
Okay,
so
we're ready.
It's
Take
kind
notes,
of the
everyone.
idea that you're off the grid and you're out in your own building, and the building though is very earth ships. Some of them were created with tires, for instance. So rammed earth would be the slamming in of dirt, tire upon tire, packing upon packing. That's
Oh.
one form. There's all kinds. Sometimes it's
That
just
sounds sturdy.
yeah. Sometimes it's just something that you can ram the earth. You pack it in and.
So just
could
putting
you
dirt
could
towards
you
the-
use
in-
Yeah.
noodles?
What?
Noodles and ram and dirt.
You could.
And you could call it the
We
spaghetti
could find a
house.
way.
Okay,
We can find a way. Yes.
they're saying that plywood is needed for rammed earth, tires
Oh.
off gas.
Oh, good.
A lot of people have.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you can't use noodles.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's because rubber
yeah.
does outgas,
Yeah.
and it doesn't smell very good.
Yeah, if
It's
you
not
had, like, a-
confirmed yet. In the research that I have done, I've seen both sides of the research. I'm not as panicked about rubber. Rubber's been around long before some of the other materials that are out there.
And I would think too, being in the dirt, it would be less likely to outgas, and there's no lots of heat, like a sun baking on it.
Yeah,
I think it would be
exposed rubber is obviously.
I guess
gonna
it's
be
just a matter of
Earth is
opinion
kinda
if you want to
spongy.
put it.
But,
in
you
the
know, we
floor or
have-
not.
You just kind of.
Now, let's go back-
Preference.
Let's go back to this idea of chemicals again. So we can take other chemicals, put that on there,
I like-
coat them. It locks
bag
that in, right?
Earth bag ship.
What is
That
it?
coats
We
it.
should make an earth bag ship
Your
for
thing.
our goats.
Yeah.
We should
That would
create
be
a ship.
so fun.
would be
That's for our
I
goat
wanna-
pen.
Yeah.
I really
Oh,
want to do.
we
I want to
did-
do a castle.
See
We
what you
had
did
one of
asking
bags.
this
Shit.
question.
And you actually
You
can
got
do
their
tires
brains
with it.
going. It's like an 8:00
We had a
meeting.
ship.
You're actually at one
Remember
right
we did
now.
have a ship,
We,
and we
we,
did
had,
call
we built a ship out there, and we also
pirate-
built the castle,
pirate
and it had a
and-
drawbridge.
Wow. That,
Yeah.
And then Mom
Hello,
burnt it.
I know
Yeah,
she's
she's
wailing
getting physical.
on me.
She's
wailing
pirate
on
and
me.
puppet
All right.
were the
all
two
right.
babies that were born.
Let's
Sorry.
pull this back
We named
around.
him. We named
Whoa, back around a little bit. We got a few
Oh,
more
I'm
minutes
sorry
left.
for being
Few
funny,
more
Dad.
minutes. Yeah, it's okay. Funny's good. But no, we have a couple more things. Any more there in chat,
Yeah,
Shelley,
any more
that you want to
questions
go?
and kind of we got
Sorry, we
got
didn't
like
answer the last
oh,
one very well.
4 more
Wendy's
minutes.
saying, let your dad talk. So.
Thanks, Wendy.
Sorry, Wendy.
Boo.
Okay, so
No, don't encourage
yes.
him.
All right, let's go back to how to build a watch. Here we go. Thanks, Wendy.
We cut you off for a reason, Dad. There's only so much we can
Yeah.
take.
Can you imagine having Garen in this mix? You know, it could be amazing.
You
the
know,
six of
he's
us all
fairly
get
quiet
together.
until he thinks of something
I
hilarious.
know, then he's
Yeah,
on it.
yeah.
So, but
Yeah,
it's
he
so
just says
funny.
it.
Where were we going with all this? Oh, you had any more Any more chat?
Oh,
Yeah, let's see.
We got a couple more
You're
minutes.
getting more, dad's on topic. You're okay. Anyway, let's see now. Talking about J.S. Holt is saying for watering around trees. He says to try this tree teepee. The Florida farmers use them, and they save massive amounts of water. So that'll be something definitely I'd like to look into that. I'm not sure
What is it? A tree teepee?
It's called a tree teepee. Oh, was that? Was your friend telling us about that?
Is it a
Two?
teepee that you live in, or is it teepee to get more water into the tree?
I just kind of passed that
for water,
link to you. I didn't look at
I
it.
think that was.
Well,
I'll look into
Yeah,
that.
we'll look into that again. We love to do that, especially out, when you're in the desert, hot areas and stuff like that. Water's important, and so having something that will help capture water. A lot of our trees are mesquites, and they have these tap roots, and so they don't water like they do in the Pacific Northwest, like a fir tree, and where the water can stay within that first 5 feet. Tap roots, these trees get down 100 feet, and that's when they start drinking. So. But it is good to be able to hold water into an aquifer. There's plenty of clay out there, or sandstone, or anything not sandstone, bedrocks and things like that.
And it's really hard to break through it.
Yeah.
Like, really hard. Like,
So-
you can watch our well videos of us trying to get through it.
And we have an aquifer about 120 feet. Is
We
where
have
it
well
drops
videos,
down
don't
until
we?
it hits
Yeah.
rocks. So yeah.
Okay, we got about a couple more minutes.
Yep.
Yeah, we can probably take one or two
And
more
then
questions. Comments.
Michael, and there might have been another one that kind of, I don't know. Anyway, same question. Do your houses have plumbing?
No plumbing in the
Define
houses.
plumbing.
Well, if you define
no.
plumbing
Yes.
as electricity,
the
The main
main
house
house.
does, yeah.
No, we
Oh.
bury it all in
House.
the bucket in the backyard.
Yeah. we use that to fertilize the garden, don't we?
Somebody once told me about toilet paper, but I don't know what that
No,
is.
that's that is a really good question.
cat claws are just perfect.
Let
to
me answer
replace.
the question. Let me answer the question. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
The answer is
Oh,
no.
gee.
You're not in trouble. The answer is no. Not in the outdoor bedrooms. The outdoor bedrooms don't have any plumbing in them. We do pipe in electricity through solar. So we kind of strayed away from trying to put plumbing in those things.
It'd be hard to put plumbing.
Well, you could do it. I
You
just
could.
don't think it's necessary. So we have a bathroom in the main house, and as part of a future
A
project,
bathroom.
a future project,
A
we have.
bathroom.
Would you relax for a second? we have a second. We have,
And
we have
Shay knows this very well because she.
Okay,
tends
Let
okay.
Dad
No,
speak.
Please, let me
Oh,
finish up,
Let
guys.
Dad speak.
Okay. Anyway, we have a second bathroom that is the plumbing is all in. We just don't have the fixtures and the everything in. And right now it's Shay's closet. So,
Oh, the
so
second.
Yeah.
she has all her
Yeah.
stuff in there.
It's gonna still be mine when we turn it into a
No,
bathroom.
don't think
Like-
so.
That's my
Probably.
bathroom.
No.
She's probably
She's
Probably.
gonna
If
get
you
her
put-
own.
Probably.
If you put a bath in there, I'm
7:30.
not leaving.
All
All right, we're gonna have to wrap it up here.
Oh, I'm having fun.
I know. But our the podcast will be—it's all recorded and will be put onto YouTube as well, the podcast. So
Yeah.
if you'd like to see it, and we're gonna do one next week, next
Yes, we are.
Wednesday, same time, but
Half hour
live on time instead of
tried
private.
Yeah, we'll
Like
actually
this
hit
time.
the mechanic.
We were on time. We're like, what? What is? I
You
don't.
don't
These
see
one friend
anyone,
would
like-
show up. I don't get it.
I was like, Jacob, I was counting on you.
Yeah, and we're like, wait a minute, did we
I was
put it on
counting on you.
public? Did we put it on
Yeah.
public? And everyone's like, oops. So,
We'll get
anyway.
we'll get the tech part of it right
Yeah,
here
we'll
next
get that
time,
rocket and
but
rolling.
We were only 2 minutes late because of it. So no big deal. Sorry.
No worries. Oh,
Dwayne
well, I guess
died.
it's not
We're
me.
2 minutes
No
past.
worries.
There you go.
Oh
It's
no,
perfect.
here we go. Anyway, so we will be doing guest speakers too here in the future, very near. Yeah. Anybody else have any closing thoughts or anything?
Oh, are we gonna
Thank
go
you,
next
everybody.
Wednesday?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll go next
Oh,
Wednesday,
yeah.
same
Thanks
time.
Weekly.
everybody for showing up. Come on
Yeah,
out
thank
again
you so
next
much
Wednesday.
for joining
so
us, and
we'll have more to talk about. Well, I'll try
And if
to
you
have
have,
more to talk.
we
No,
will.
I'm kidding.
and if you have like ideas or questions, you
yeah.
can always just post them in the
Questions
chat.
and
Post
comments.
them,
And comments, yeah,
and the
comments.
videos was good.
Yeah.
So,
Anything.
Topic suggestions always open for that.
and if you're an expert at anything that's kind of related to this, and you own a business and make $1 million, no, I'm kidding. But if you're part of a business that or part of a learning like the rest of us are in this whole idea of homesteading, please shoot me a quick email at gary@mylittlehomestead.com, and we'll talk about that. Yes.
it's a big
One more thing.
What?
BJ says
Yes.
her
Hi.
7-year-old daughter.
Hi.
Okay.
I read that. I was like, oh my gosh, I hope I get this in. Hi, BJ's 7-year-old
Daughter.
Yeah, I
daughter.
don't see her name here.
Oh, she was there.
no,
her
it's Mal.
Oh, Mal?
M-A-L? Mal?
Mal.
maybe?
Well, hi. Thank you
Speak
so
up.
much.
We can't hear you.
I can't hear. Please say it louder.
Okay.
Anyway,
we got to
thank
close,
you
guys.
so much. We really
Okay.
appreciate it. And join us again next Wednesday.
Yes. Thank
for-
you guys.
For more
Thank
fun.
you.
You
And
guys
thank
are
you
so
so
awesome.
much.
Appreciate you guys.
Really appreciate it.
Patreon.com if you want to support us.
If you'd like to support us.
Yeah.
Pump
It's
self.
always open.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you so much. Bye.